So how's it going today, guys? Back here with another video. Today we're going to be ranking the 12 Diamond Takeover players that came out in Season 1. We're going to be getting a new Diamond, I think it's Kenyon Martin, that's coming out in Takeover tomorrow for the start of Season 2. But today we're just going to be focusing on the 12 that came out in Season 1. So yeah, man, let's just get into it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a like on the video. That would be much appreciated. So coming in at number 12, we have Diamond Elgin Wheeler. Now, this card, you could argue him above, I think maybe number 11 and 10 on this list, but I just think because of the fact that he was the longest grind and one of the worst cards to come out of Takeover, I just think he has to rank last. I mean, he's got a terrible release. He's not really the best off the dribble. Usually, you know, Elgin is better off the dribble than he is this year. So that was kind of disappointing. He's alright on defense, but just a super mid card overall with a terrible release. So I think he has to come in at number 12, man. And if you grinded for him, that's just a props to you, man. I don't know why you did it or how you did it. So, yeah, but he has to come in at number 12. And then coming in at number 11, we have Darren Williams. Now, number 11 and 10 on this list are very comparable, but Darren Williams was a very short grind, and if you like really needed a point guard at that point, I think he was, you know, a decent option, because he came out, you know, whatever it was, like 2-3 weeks ago now. So he was a good option at the time, still all right of an option to run at the point guard position. But I mean, there is just way better takeover cards overall. I think. I mean, he's going to give you decent offensive production. He's going to get hurt defensively. So not a terrible point guard, but he comes in here at number 11. Then coming in at number 10 is Diamond Tony Parker. So very similar card to Darren Williams. I think just a little bit better though, because he's going to be able to cook just a little bit more on that offensive end. Better release, I would say. He's going to be able to finish just a little bit better. So that's, I mean, they're very comparable though. You could swap them out if you prefer Darren. I mean, I'm not going to really have anything to say negatively about that. So he comes in here at number 10. Just kind of a worse Diamond Kyrie, I think, is probably the best comparison. And then coming in at number 9 is Lamar Odom, the first takeover reward that was available. So he's going to give you pretty good shooting. You know, you're not going to run him in, not going to want to run him at the power forward because he's going to get bullied. But I mean, he's still an all right small forward to be running to this day. You know, he's got a pretty good release. He's going to be able to rim run a little bit. He's all right on defense at the 3, not at the 4. So I think just a pretty decent card overall. Pretty much all these takeover cards are pretty good. And he comes in here at number 9. And then coming in at number 8, Bill Russell. He's pretty much the same card. They're going to do the same job, at least as a Diamond Ben Wallace if you play him at the center position. He, you know, he's not going to really give you any shooting ability whatsoever. He's going to be able to mash a little bit, but his height hurts him a little bit in that regard. And then on defense, he's going to really lock it down, similar to a Diamond Ben Wallace. You know, he's going to be just a defensive card overall. And he was a pretty long grind as well, but I mean, if you got him, you got yourself a really good defensive center on your hands. Comes in here at number 8. And then coming in at number 7, Alex English. I was kind of disappointed because I would expect him to rank higher in this list, but when I was going through all the cards, he has to come in at number 7, just because most of these cards are so good. But yeah, he's still my backup 2 card to this day. I mean, he's just elite at rim running, one of the best rim running cards in the game, I would say. Even though he's got a 60 driving dunk or 70 driving dunk or whatever it is, it's pretty low, whatever his exact stat is. But he still just gets crazy dunk animations, still dunks over people. And I mean, that's kind of what you're going to use him for, so as a rim runner. And then he's got the Carmelo Anthony release, so even though he's got a 63 ball, you can still crack greens with him from outside. I do it all the time. People leave him open, and you can just green all day when you're left open with him, especially from the corner. Even though sometimes he'll step in a little bit or it'll be a 2. I mean, you know, people have to play this card honest, and then when they get up too tight defensively, you can just rim run on them. So offensively, this card's good, and then defensively, you can hold it down too. So really good card, and another short grind, which I think was totally worth it. And yeah, coming in at number 7, Alex English. And then coming in at number 6 is Andrew Wiggins, the card that just came out on Tuesday. And he's pretty much just a budget version, or not even a budget because they're not MT cards, but just a worse version of the level 40 reward Pink Diamond Scottie Pippen. Going to play a similar role. He's not going to be as good of a shooter, and then he's going to give you, you know, similar defense. So I would say just a really good wingspan. He's going to be able to really press up on people, really clamp people up. So a good card overall, just kind of a worse shooting. Scottie Pippen maybe not quite as good rim running either, but he does have a height advantage over Scottie, so that's one thing to note, I suppose. Really good card overall and another really short grind, and he's still available. So if you wanted to go out and get him, I wouldn't blame you at all. And then coming in at number 5 is Anthony Edwards. And I think, you know, you're not going to want to run him at the 3, first of all. Like, he's too small to run at the 3. You're going to want to run him at the 2. But I think he just has to rank above Alex English just because of his improved shooting ability. He's just a better shooter than Alex English. He's going to give you pretty much the same rim running. And, you know, defensively, comparable too. Again, just really comparable cards overall, except Edwards is a better shooter. So that's why I put him here at number 5. Another really long grind, but yeah, man, it's still a really good card overall. He comes in here at number 5, Anthony Edwards. Coming in at number 4 is Diamond Jason Kidd. So he's one of those tall point guards. I think the only 4 in the game right now are Jason Kidd, Dyson Daniels, shades of card, Shawn Livingston, shades of, and then Cade Cunningham, the ultimate reward for the shades of rookies. And all 4 of these cards, including Jason Kidd, are just going to be such a huge advantage for you to run, to have that height advantage at the point guard position, because they're going to be able to shoot over smaller point guards in the paint. Kidd's release is bad, so it's going to be kind of baited from the outside, but you're going to be able to drive on those smaller point guards all day if you got an open lane. And then defensively, if you're running these tall point guards defensively, I mean, you're going to be able to shut down like the elite rim runners like Derrick Rose, John Morant, pretty much any of those type of cards, Russell Westbrook to a certain extent too. I mean, just having these tall point guards on the defensive end of the floor for your team is such a huge advantage. So that's why Jason Kidd comes in here at number 4. And then coming in at number 3 is Andre Iguodala. So still a really good card to this day. This card kind of even gets overlooked a little bit, but the fact that he can play shooting guard too, usually they make Iguodala a small forward / power forward. But I mean, his height at the shooting guard position, then of course you can run him at small forward too if you want. I mean, his defensive ability, the animations he gets defensively, his wingspan, and then his release too. I'm always a fan of Iguodala release, and of course I haven't used this card, but I can tell that it's a good release by playing against him so many times. So I think Iguodala, you know, he has to come in here at number 3. Just a super solid shooting guard / small forward in the game right now. And again, a really overlooked card, but he's still elite. And then coming in at number 2 is Donovan Mitchell. So still one of the best point guards in the game. I would say still probably a top 5 point guard because of his defensive ability, his rim running ability. I mean, he's comparable to like a Derrick Rose. He really is with his rim running and stuff. And you know, he might even be a little bit better on the defensive end too. Just I would say a slightly worse rim runner, but a slightly better defender. And then he's going to, you know, give you elite shooting too. So again, people have to stay honest on him. They can't just leave him open, or you're going to be greening with him all day. So just a really effective card, man. In this Diamond Donovan Mitchell, still being ran by a lot of elite players at the point guard position to this day. And I mean, I don't think people realized how good this card when he first came out, or how good this card was when he first came out, or else, you know, even more people would have went for him. And I think a lot of people picked him out of that limited option pack as a limited reward, as well as the person in the number 1 spot too. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell, Diamond, an elite point guard in this game. And then coming in at number 1, I think you guys probably all saw this coming, is Diamond Shawn Kemp. Now this card's animations that he gets in the paint, and his ability to mash, and his ability defensively, and just the way he moves as a center, I mean, he's just a cheeseball of a card, dude. If you're running him at power forward or center, he's just going to give you elite production, similar to even some of the trophy case cards. I mean, there's, again, you know, a lot of elite players are running this card, and there's a reason behind it. One of the best centers in the game, one of the best power forwards in the game, wherever you choose to run him. He's going to give you elite shooting. You can't leave him open on the perimeter. And he just pretty much gives you everything, you know. He gives you great defensive ability, gives you the ability to mash, gives you the ability to shoot. I mean, there's really nothing this card can't do as a big man. So I think Diamond Shawn Kemp absolutely has to come in at number 1 on this list. So yeah, I think that does it for this one, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always, man. We'll have some season 2 content coming tomorrow night for you, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and I will see you guys in the next vid.